Let me say good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you find yourself. This is Screen Vision. I want to welcome you to another day broadcast right here. We're coming to you live from the beautiful city of Kigali, So we want you to share our show, encourage your colleagues to further. Today we're going to be discussing some national issues, in Liberia, looking at national development, those issues that contributes to development, human growth and so forth. So don't go away, just share colleagues to join and you can share the show with your friends. Let me say greetings to all Liberians studying in Kigali, Rwanda. I want to say good evening to you, wherever you are watching us. If you're out of Kigali, I want to say thank you for joining us. And thank you, man, for the hard work. It's not easy to study out here, most especially you're far from home. You left your family, yeah, and you just travel on the side to pursue higher education. It's not easy. That kind of a motherly love. Some people in Liberia, they can say, Mama, baby. You left your parents, you came here, but you are still fighting it. It means a lot. We want to say thank you for keeping it, holding the struggle. Because at the end of the day, you're going to succeed. And your mom or your dad going to be proud of you. So in order for you to succeed, you need to apply effort because nothing comes easy. So you need to apply effort. I know they said there is light at the end of the thunder. So it means that all what you are going through in Rwanda, studying, I mean, sometimes you cook your 2 3 days soup, you enjoy you cooking one soup. Some people smart men can cook beans. They used to cooking beans. You cook beans more than 4 5 times a week. Yeah, just keep going. The goal is for you to graduate, achieve what you came here for. So once you do it, trust me, you're gonna go somewhere. There is job out there waiting for you. And that's why we encourage people to try to network. Try to connect with other people, because once you do that, it means that your courage extend in various parts of the world. So don't just sit. Try to connect with other people. You know, you can have some conversation with them, professional conversation, and then I think you're going to get something. Because at the end of the day, you're going to man going to receive your email, your letter is man. You're going to send an application to. So even if you are connected with somebody and you want something, but the person you are connected with does not have that thing, but that person knows somebody who also have that. So that's why I say sometimes it's good to be connected. Once you are connected, you're going to have a lot of good opportunities sometimes. So I see my comrade in the back. Let me try to welcome Sylvester Blessing JJ, one of our regular panelists who always taking up the time, joining to have a good conversation. We want to say thank you. We want to say thank you for always joining us. And today I want to discuss a very important issue. So just stick with us. Don't go away. Stick with us, as we await Isaac. Isaac will soon be here. Sylvester, greetings. How are you?
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Ballah, and good evening to our listeners again. I'm glad to be back to business to join the conversation as we discuss trending national issues relating to development and as well as politics. Everything is going well. My weekend has been a very basic one. Trying to strike balance between the activities that we do, covering
Yes.
up for and but at least it's good to be back here again to join you and other colleagues to discuss the issues. And
Okay.
by the way,
Thank you.
happy Father's Day. I would just like to say extend happy Father's Day to all responsible men,
Yeah.
especially my fathers, and all those who have played a fatherly role in my life one way or the other. I would like to take this time to extend and happy Father's Day greetings. It's not easy to be a man, my friend. And
Definitely.
someone,
Definitely.
someone someone can say never judge your father until you have a child.
Hmm.
Yeah, so despite all the up and down, we must appreciate them for the sacrifices they have made.
Okay. And which is very important, for our growth, because as a man, once you are doing well, it's good to always be appreciated. It makes you to do more. So that's why it's sometimes good to show love to your father, to show love to your daddy. We're talking about those fathers who are working, are standing in the gap, playing the fatherly role. Those are fathers we are talking about. We're not talking about father who will pregnant people and run. Not that type of father. Yeah, so we want to say a happy Father Days to all of our fathers around the world. Thanks for keeping up going. Thanks for all the energy you are applying. Sometimes you have to leave your own activities to focus just to make your child feel satisfied. It's not an easy thing. So we want to say thank you. Keep it up, and we pray that all those children that you are applying effort to support, they're going to hear something good. You're going to benefit from them before God call you. So just keep your finger crossed and continue praying for your children as you also work, because the society or the environment kind of a crazy. Sometimes you put everything behind the child, the way in which you want to bring out the child. At the end of the day, when he or she enters the environment has its own way of controlling people. So if you are not strong enough, if you go alone, the negative path, there's going to be a serious problem. And so that's why also good to keep your family in prayer. So having said that, we're going to discuss some important issues today. We noticed over the weekend or over the week there were a lot of trending information. One of the information that really caught my attention was that the announcement made by the Ministry of Education. Yeah, the Ministry of Education made a very serious announcement on June 15th. If you go, you can check on the Ministry of Education Facebook page. There where they made this announcement and various blogs were carrying it around, and like we say while we do on screen vision, we go around fetching for information to come and share with you because some of you maybe you are somehow busy, you don't have time to go and get this kind of information. And one of the things actually, what is actually important is good to be informed, to keep informed about your country, what is happening in your country. Yeah, what is happening because sometimes if you meet with some of your colleagues who are from other country, you guys going to interact. What's going on for in your country? How's this thing working? How this thing working? So if you are not informed about, things in your country, you just feel like nothing working. Yeah, you just feel that I should go alone. I will play or recalling that I saw on Facebook. JJ, this is very rare though, but it's happening, and people don't take advantage of this thing. The taxi driver said a police officer gave him a ticket, and then he took the police officer. They went to the traffic court in Liberia, and he won the case. He won the police officer. Just imagine that a taxi driver under this administration, police officer gave him a ticket, and at the end of the day, he said he was not satisfied with the ticket, so they went, to the place. And at the end of the day, what happened? He was wrong. The police officer was wrong for giving him the ticket. But some people, the moment they give you ticket, you just take it because you don't want to go through all the bureaucracy. You don't want to. Sometimes it's good to challenge the law and see what happening. So what's your take on that, JJ? Just imagine a citizen when a police officer could for giving you ticket in Liberia. If you say this thing, some people will say, I think it work in Liberia. Yes, it do work. It's happening. Let's hear you on this before we join to our conversation.
Yeah, I know this is just an opener for our conversation, but I don't think it's something is rare. It's something strange, for a civilian to win police in any lower court. But this is an evidence that the justice system is somehow improving, but not to the magnitude of which we expect it to have been improved. Because we have seen a lot of situations, Mr. Bella. This is not the first time for even a citizen to even win government, because the police represent government as well.
Yeah, sure.
Doing President Weah time, Patrick Honda won the government. We have
Okay.
seen a time without numbers, so it's not something. And even recently, the Samuel Tuek case, and then won the government. But anyway, back to the issue. I think it's something that we need to carry robust awareness with regards to civic education. Because when you are fully aware of your law, you will not be taken advantage of, no matter whether you have the connection or not. But you see, some of our brothers and sisters, or even those one who are in the traffic, they do not even understand the traffic laws. And so, since this thing is business as usual with police, stopping driver, issuing ticket, or maybe getting allegedly taking something from taxi driver and so forth, it has become normalized. It has become normalized. So that's the issue, and it's something that we must appreciate, that this guy, he understood the law very well, and he knows what he did was not wrong. Is not something strange, It's not something strange. So we need to carry on robust civic education, so that even the marketeers along the way should know where their rest stop, where their rest begins from. So that guy was 100% correct to have justify his action, and also test the law. It's part of the law.
Yeah, sure, sure. And I think all taxi driver or all drivers, commercially ready focus on commercial drivers should understand the traffic law. If it calls for you to, take those laws and read it, understand the traffic laws, because you are interacting with police officer on a daily basis. I mean, so it's good to
But
understand.
I'm not cutting you off. The traffic session should also carry on some of these awareness.
They do carry on awareness, but some
No,
people,
the
they
nature awareness they carry on, don't drink and drive. That's the reality. Don't take opposite lane. But there are other sessions. You see, let me tell you something. Drivers from Liberia, some of them that came here, let me like Liberian citizen now, that
Mhm.
left Liberia and come to Rwanda to this place to maybe for time being and get access to have private car to drive themselves.
Yeah.
That's why they can drive in Liberia, but they find it difficult to drive here, my brother. Do you know why? Because of the traffic signs that they have to understand and the traffic regulations.
But anyway, we let not dwell on this topic. We'll discuss it another time, because you go to driving school, we expect you to understand all these traffic rules. Once you
No,
attend a driving
you will
school,
understand the traffic rule, but the traffic has there's a law governing traffic. Exception
yes,
of you having traffic. And again, those traffic rules, they are not many in Liberia. That's one thing. The
are
first
you
ever
are you are
roundabout
you?
traffic sign. The first ever roundabout traffic sign at the EW Junction.
There are a lot of there are a lot of error. I saw some people wanted to hear their friends.
So you tell me now.
Anyway, thank you. Let's leave the other topic. But over the week, we got a bump from the Ministry of Education, concerning graduation fees. The Ministry of Education announced a strict enforcement, you know, of approved graduation fees and regulations for 2025 and 2026 academic year. When I saw uh, this announcement on the Ministry of Education page, I was like, wow. I hope students and parents and schools administrators going to abide by these rules. So over the weekend, the Ministry of Education announced and approved graduation fees for grade 12, grade 6, grade 9, and K2, like we call kindergarten. So Ministry of Education said, I don't want to go through all this long reading because we don't have much time. Ministry of Education said for public school, grade 12 should pay 5,000 LD for graduation fees. Nothing more, nothing less. Now, private school 12th graders should pay 100 USD or 8 equivalents in Liberian dollars. Now, for public school grade 6 and 9, they should pay 3,500 each Liberian dollars. Private school grade 6 to 9, they should pay 6,000 each. Public school kindergarten should pay 2,500 LD. And then private school kindergarten should pay 5,000, Liberian dollars. Graduation fee should be collected only after official release of the West African Senior School Certificate Examination result. No school is authorized to collect graduation fees before the results are officially announced. Do you think, to our viewers, people who following, do you think schools administrators going to follow these rules or going to obey these rules? That's the question. I want you to join the conversation tonight. That's just one of our topics we're going to discuss. We want you to join the conversation tonight. Let's discuss this issue. And the Ministry of Education have their number, so you can go on their page. The Ministry of Education official page, you will see the information. and then the contact there. They said the Ministry of Education will investigate, report violations, and take appropriate administrative action against schools from to in the act of breaching the laws. But JJ, do you think the rules, the laws that they set for these things, do you think they will hold? Looking at our setting where only university students graduation, like the guys from the Advantage University there on the highway, said they charge them bachelors $750. Can you imagine that? For graduation fees, you charging $750. People paying 500, 600 US dollars for graduation fees. But sometimes I was just discussing with one of my colleagues the other day. I say I don't really hold these administrators, sometimes, you know, accountable for what they're doing or looking at them, because the students, they are the one putting whole lot of things. They want bag, they want mellow, they want jacket, they want a cap, they want a t-shirt. After party this, what are you going to do all these things? At the end of the day, say la, how do you call it? The what's the name?
Souvenir.
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 So you want to tell me you get buy bed to put in your horse and people. So at the end of the day, school have to come up with certain budget, and sometimes it will interest you to know that they will even say we don't want for our bed to be printed locally. Our sorry, we want it to come from China. Just imagine that. So with all these kind of things are happening, looking at price, the increase in prices and other things, dictionaries, other things. Do you think these identical rules going to hold? Just start from that point.
Mr. Bara, is a great question to me and also to the audience. Let me say this for the record. I used to work in the education sector.
Okay.
So I know these things. Sometimes it's like, okay, it's a mandate from MOE and district education officers, county education officers have to implement that mandate to the fullest. But again, let me tell you this for free, my brother, and to the audience, especially those private schools. There where it is from that medium or the activities fees they generate additional money for that institution.
Mm.
And the shocking part about it, you tell somebody not to correct this fee, the person correct it. And MOE said they will find the person. Sometimes they find can be not sometimes, but every time they find lesser than what the people collected.
Okay.
So like you say don't collect
So
500.
sometimes, yeah, so folks, yeah, JJ is back.
Are you hearing me?
Yeah, good. Let's go.
Okay. So let me just say
Okay,
this.
proceed.
Sometimes you collect 500. Then the schools then the ministry say we'll find you 300. And you get 200 profit, you still meet the target, my friend.
Oh yeah,
But
sure.
but on the overall, this is something that, like you rightly said, the students themselves too, they are the one that is causing this problem. Because the school trying to find all means to maybe respect government policy, but on the other hand, to generate some money for themselves. So now if students start to come up with a lot of activities, then the school now will see those activities as a medium of which they can strike the balance. A school asks parents or the student themselves to pay such an amount as graduation fee when you have already taken significant amount from the parents or from those struggling students for tuition fees. It does not work. And as a poor country where we have to manage the income effectively of those parents, these are policies that government put in place. But let me tell you this for free, Mr. Ballah, and tell the audience. This policy announcement is something that it will have impact on other schools. It will not have impact on other schools. There's a school to Catholic there. I think beyond Catholic is a rich people's school.
Okay.
Imagine the student tuition at over 3,000
Mm.
or 2,000. Then you tell the parent to pay $100. You think that school that been collecting 3,000 will actually tell parent to pay $100?
For graduation fees.
It's a
But
joke,
that's
my
the,
friend.
but that's the law. That's the rule they set up for graduation fees. So I think those schools should follow the rules.
No, what MOE should have done, why it should that they regulate all schools. But remember, they are not the one that manage the operation of private schools, especially those operations that has to do with financial implications. They have teachers association, they have the D principals associations. Yes, I know they do have those associations
Yeah,
in
yeah,
all
yeah,
school districts at
yeah.
all counties level. Call those private schools teachers, oh sorry, private school principals, and you'll come out to a reasonable amount proportional to institutional capacity.
Oh my God! It's like the network is actually giving JJ Sylvester actually giving Sylvester trouble. So guys, that's why we are talking about the issue about graduation fees. We hope that our students going to work with the government, in order to enforce these rules, when it comes to their graduation fees. Because more parents, sometimes parents don't have money for these things. Sometimes the students themselves, you struggle through all the years. Some students spend 4 years, 5 years, in school. Some people left their control area. When I say a control, for example, you got your parents in Nima, or you got your parents in Grand Jide, and then you left, then you came to Morovia for studies. Just imagine you renting your own house, all those things you're going through it. At the end of the day, people start to charge you your graduation, finish going through all those stress, and then they tell you pay 500, pay 800, pay 700 for graduation fees, because you want bag, you want mellow, you want t-shirt, you want this one, you want band, you want wash. They should put it in on the wash and the information. So just imagine that. So some students find it difficult. Sylvester, you can go ahead.
Yeah, so as I was saying, you should recognize those principles, but you cannot say, I understand maybe they may have worked on other modalities, but when you come in with a strict policy like that, you should first take into consideration the capacity of the institution, especially to private. Let me tell you this, they have absolute control over public institution. Despite private institution operates under their supervision. But controlling the finances of private institutions, they don't have the power, my friend. I know what I'm telling you. In some school districts, you will find a private school just taking care of the district officer. A private school, well capacitated private school, taking care of the logistics of district officer. So now you come out to say pay $100, and you think those district officers will implement that? Mm-mm. They will try. The law will only rest on the victim. That means the one that do not have the capacity. But
Sure.
realistically speaking, you cannot tell CDA and then to say collect $100. You cannot tell JRA to collect $100. You cannot tell Livasi with even here who.
Rex Institute
Rex
Lockery.
Institute, you cannot tell them locate it.
I
So
can remember
so
Rex collected 200 the last time. So when we were here bombing.
So you see, that's the whole thing. They will do those private school. They will say, okay, we hear you. They will do that thing. After graduation, you find them, and this is what making those kind of policy very weak, because you know why? The power driving those private institutions. If you say you violate, instead of fine, revocation of your operational permit for 1 school year. And let's see what are those institutions that are always involved in those activities will continue to do so. They do not have control over regulating tuition fees. They will come up with policy, but it will not work. Enforcement is what lacking. So I don't think this is just a policy announcement to say, okay, we are doing well, and maybe those schools that do not have the capacity will be the one to put themselves in their shelf to not violate MOE rules. But I'm telling you this for free. Lee Middleton will violate.
So it means that you're recommending policy reform. They should enforce the law. The policies not just reform, but the law should be enforced. And sometimes that's why we say this is one of the things that is lacking in our country, in Liberia, the law enforcement. People usually say there are good laws that govern the country, but at the end of the day, these laws cannot be enforced. Then what the essence of these laws?
Mr. Bada, unless things have changed, I don't know, but I want to believe if it has changed, it has not changed substantially. Every
The
academic
network,
year,
the network, the network, the network. So, folks, if you are watching, this is Screen Vision, and my name is Titus V. Ballah. We are coming to you live from Kigali, and today we are discussing some national issues. During the week, the Ministry of Education, announced strict rules when it comes to graduation, graduation fees for 12th grade, 6th grade, 9th grade, and kindergarten. And the government of Liberia also signed, an agreement. Yeah, signed an agreement between the African Development Bank. The government says they're funding, they signed 16.7 million loan agreement. It was signed between Liberia and the African Development Bank. The government says the fund will be, you know, used to support fiscal sustainability, improve mining sector governance, increase transparency, and strengthen economic reforms. So we're going to talk, going to discuss that as well. So just stick, and then you can drop your comment as we discuss this important issue. You know, uh, so the Ministry of Education set up strict rules for graduation fees, announced the graduation fees that both private and public schools should pay for graduation fees for 2025-2026. And then over the week, the government also signed a huge loan agreement, with the African Development Bank. Yeah, 16.7 million loan agreement. The loan will be used to support fiscal sustainability, improve mining sector governance, increase transparency, and strengthen economics reform. But now the question is, what does this mean for ordinary Liberians? So we're going to discuss this as well, and want you to share your thought on some of these things we're going to discuss. Don't hold back, because it's because of you we are here. Let's discuss the issue together. And go in the comment section, say something. Say something. What do you think about this thing we are discussing? Looking at a loan, looking at all these things. What do you think? Let's discuss it. And then the government of Liberia also secured a grant of 500,000 through Ocean 5 to support the review and modernization of the Liberian Fishery and Aquaculture Management and Development Law of 2019. The fundings represent a significant outcome of the commitment and partnership fostered during the third United Nations Ocean Conference in Nice in 2025. So the government of Liberia also secured 500,000 to support ocean governance, support fisheries activities within the country, We're going to discuss that. What we're going to what going to be the impact, on the local people, those people that live along the ocean. What are they going to benefit? When it comes to improving their lives, because you can't talk about ocean protection of ocean governance and those who benefit directly from the ocean, the lives cannot be improved. Because through that from, I know also you talk about pollution. And one of the problem we face in our country is the issue of waste management. If you go along the beaches, there are a lot of waste alone. So is the fund going to reach that far? Going to focus on the environmental aspect as well? And when it comes to improving the lives of the local people, how those people going to benefit? Some of these things we're going to talk about it tonight. So we want you to share your ideas as well. What do you think? Go on the Facebook page of MOE. Go and check. You will see this information that we just spoke of concerning MOE, and then you can also share your view. Let's hear you, JJ. I don't know why the network is doing to you this evening. Sylvester.
Yes, brother, I'm here.
Yeah, I don't know what the network is doing to you this evening. It kept going up, coming, going, coming. But I hope that okay. So that was I was saying when you left, I was looking at the agreement. I was also talking about the agreement that was signed between the government of Liberia and the African Development Bank, the 16.7 million loan agreement. That will improve the mining sector, fiscal sustainability and so forth. So we'll also look at that right after this discussion concerning the schools. So in order for you were in speech when you went off. Can you end so that we can come up with another thing?
So, like I was saying, unlike the regulation has not changed with regards to school registration, but I do know that every academic year a school has to register for operational permits.
Okay.
And so I think that could be another approach instead of finding schools, because those things where you say administrative, most often they are fines. They are not revocation of operational permits, because those are petty offenses. So now they should gravitate those offenses from petty offenses to serious offenses, because there are schools that are usually into that activities, and at the end of the day they know that nothing more will be done but just fine. So if a school can collect over $1,000 and you find them maybe 20% of that $1,000, still the school has nothing to lose. And I think the burden also rests on the government. That's why the school has nothing to lose. Government also has nothing to lose, but the burden rests on the parents instead of the government, because it is the money of the parents that the school use to pay fine from those activities and also take the remaining for profit. So I think it should not only be like a policy statement or a policy announcement, but it should be a serious action taken with regards to implementation. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much indeed. If you are listening, we want to say thanks for joining us. We ask you to share our show. She been listening or following us. We are talking about some trending development within our country over the week. Ministry of Education and Nash create rules on graduation fees, and the government of Liberia and the African Development Bank has signed loan agreement of 16.7 million US dollars, and that loan going to support the mining sector. They're going to support we're going to support the mining sector, the fiscal sustainability, and so forth. So, since we are talking, we're done with the issue about the issue about ministerial education aspect. We want you to share your thought within the comment section. What do you think? Do you think the rule is going to hold, or it's not going to hold? And who should we blame? Is it the students, the parents, or the schools administrators that are causing the high increasement when it comes to graduation fees in our country because it's not the first time. And the government library also secure 500,000 grant. It was approved for to improve transparency in fishery sector and review the future and aquaculture management and development 2019 law. you know as you may be aware, the aquaculture is the NAFA is responsible to take care of all fisheries activities within our country. All those people who you see fishing along the ocean, or within the country, they are responsible to manage the affairs of fishery activities within the country. So this loan, they said they're going to use it to improve transparency in the fishery sector, and also looking at the to work on, maybe they're going to carry on some reform on the law of 2009 that govern the fishery activities within our country. And the the aim of the project is to combat illegal fishery, strengthen governance, and protect fishery and promote sustainable use of marine resources. But now the question is, what does this Denica project means for the Liberian economy? You know, Sylvester JJ. Let's talk about this featuring project.
So if we were to, extensively look at the blue economy, is something that contributes immensely to economic growth as well as economic development. Because um, when you have a formalized blue economy, that's why you see we have NAFA to regulate that activities. Before then, it used to be under Ministry of Agriculture, but the monitoring and the regulation was not really robust. So, with regards to the funding that NAFA secure, is something commendable. And that we must appreciate those individuals or funders that gave us that amount. But yeah, you say, Mr. Barra, we also have to play our own part. While we appreciate the amount, but it should not be like someone sitting from the country taxpayers and they give us over 500,000 and they say reform your law. We should be the one to understand that our law by itself needs reform. I don't know whether you sense that. We should be the one trying to reform our own law to improve the sector. We must appreciate what they have done so far, but the fund is directed for trainings, reformation of relooking at the regulations. But the blue economy is something that is very critical to to the country. In other countries, you will find the fishery sector booming. You will find a lot of people, they have the structural mechanism to go about doing fishing. So I think it's something commendable that we must first appreciate, but we should also look that as I don't want to say it's a slap in our face, but our laws and the mechanism we need to use to inform, not to inform but to implement policy to ensuring that we generate significant revenue from aquaculture activities is something that should be high on the operational agenda of the entity.
Yeah, so let me come to that aspect you're talking about. They shouldn't tell us to when it comes to the our law. Most of these funds, the international funds that you see sitting somewhere, there are rules and regulations that govern these funds, and you are aware about it. And this identical funds that we are talking about is of no excuse. It's part of it. So the funds tell you that if you take the fund, the importance of the fund is to improve ocean governance, improve fishery within your country, aquaculture. All those people who use the ocean, use their funds to improve some of your laws, reforms. And some of those laws, those rules and regulations, you already have them. You can just improve on it and ease it. So it's not like it's almost like a slap in your face, but the world now is progressing. And if you look at the one of the principles that talk about common but differentiated responsibilities, it means that all those developed countries plus developed countries has their own power, they got their own economy. But you know that the developed country have higher than developing countries when it comes to technology, it comes to economy, it comes to this. So in order for you for us to have a very sustainable development, for us to have a, like you mentioned, the blue ocean, they are saying you need to improve on your laws. We see in your laws, they are there. And you also need to improve on enforcement. So therefore, you be able to use their phone wisely to carry on SYZ, SYZ, SYZ. So it's not like a slap. If you accept to do it, we give it to you and we're going to guide you in the process to work along so that you can be able to implement these things. And it's happening everywhere. So Liberia now, like you said, just need to take advantage of these funds and see how we can improve. Because I was talking the last time we were, because I just did a course in the blue ocean something. I was asking the class, when it comes to the monitoring aspect, law enforcement is very low within the ocean. How many ships or speedboats that NAFA has when it comes to monitoring aspect that all over our water? The ocean is divided. We have our own part, and for our part, we can allow innocent passage. It means other ship can pass over the ocean without, for our own side, they can pass there without taking anything. Just pass easy, you go. That's innocent passage. But you find out that those guys who have these ships and other things, they are under the water. Sometimes they come into our territory and then they carry on this illegal fishing activities. By the end of the day, NAFA do not have that capacity, the power, the strength when it comes to enforcement aspect to get more or ground over the ocean. You don't have it. So then therefore is just telling you, try to improve on some of these things. Maybe we can say boss. Train more people. Teach them about the law so that they can go and then you see people all the ocean just ride, they just there to observe like your territory. And then at the end of the day, if anybody come in our space carrying illegal money or illegal fishery, they should face in the law. I think that's what they found saying to Liberia. So I don't
Mr.
think
Ballah, I want to fundamentally disagree with you. Unlike maybe the the grant gave an maybe an open discretion for the institution to do whatever they want to do, but the fund is specifically, they say, to support the review and modernization of Liberia fishery and aquaculture management and development law of 2019. The year
yeah.
5000 review law.
No, yeah, you see, there is more of that. Let's look at the aim of this identical, project. What the project hope to achieve.
Okay,
Okay,
now you have identified the thing of poor ocean governance.
that's why I come in. The
Yeah,
project tells you that.
I come in. You have identified the issue of poor ocean governance with limited boat for monitoring.
Mhm.
What is most needed? Review of the law of the 5000 or
UMA
the
said
capacity.
no. When we're talking about this law, review of this law, that's why every project has their aim. You know that. So now,
So
the
then
part
that's what
of
I'm saying. The grant
and
is
now,
commendable, but it's a slap in our face.
no, you
We,
have
we,
the
we
you
should
have
know that we have to renew our law. We have to review our law. So when we review the law, what needs financial resources to purchase equipment for implementation of the law, that's what we should be seeking.
so maybe the country doesn't have the funds to do that to carry on law reforms.
There's a slap in our face. So the grant is commendable with all the lawyers that we have.
But you need to pay those people. It's not free. It's not
I
free.
agree, it's not free.
Because if you look at the objective of this identical funds or this project, is to what combat illegal fishery. That's
Of
one.
course.
And when you say we should combat illegal fishery, it means that over the water, the issue about law enforcement or labor presence has not been felt over the ocean.
So
So
do you
there
know
are a
the
lot of
reason why that
illegal.
persons are not being failed? Is
Why?
because they do not have the capacity to make that person fail.
Yeah,
They will
but
not walk on the water to monitor the operation of the water. They need
it,
both.
it require few it require funds. Probably they have some, but they are still lacking. I mean, Liberia is a developing country.
I agree.
Uh-huh.
And this is something that it persists everywhere in Africa, even the
Right.
IMF. Before
Yeah.
IMF say they give you the other facility to carry on development, they will tell you say you gotta do X, Y, and Z before they
Yeah.
give you the money.
What they give you this.
So that means
And
they're dictating to you. So that means you don't know what you really want.
no, you know what you want, but we're telling you that. Let's take for example. You see, we almost like
But brother, we have to shift. One thing I should tell the listeners and you in studio, we
uh-huh.
must try to build resilience ourselves. Money is in the country.
I agree.
Ensure public trust. Mobilize sufficient revenue that they have been doing. And those revenue that you have mobilized, try and put it to significant operations of your activities to bring in more money. European Union will come and give you money and tell you say no, they rule. When now when you face the rule, and you know that's a priority. These are the issues that we have, especially with regards to and misalignment for international partners or international NGOs and national priorities. Because the thing is, you will suspend your national priorities because you want the money. And when you take the money, you have to go by their priorities. And if you, in the long run, if you keep doing it, keep on doing it, now you become that you cannot sustain your economic activities or your development agenda without international partners.
Comrade, you talking about people, the government putting mechanism in place to generate more revenue that will be used in various sectors. Now, you should understand that the ocean plays a significant part, or when it comes to revenue generation. So if you do not have a law or proper law, your institution are responsible to govern the ocean is lacking law enforcement. There are a lot of things going on there. How do you think you're going to generate the revenue from the ocean? So that's why the people are saying we can help you, we give you this money, use it and straighten this technical sector. Like there, for example, you see the ocean, they have the continental shelf, they have the deep sea. Like I say, they are being separated. So now, the ocean, the deep sea is for everybody. That one, no, there is no specific country that has jurisdiction over the deep sea. Anybody can carry it. That's why you can see sometimes when America or high income country want to try a weapon, there where they can go over the deep sea. And they can go there to do some mining activities there. Do you think Liberia have that equipment at this time to go use the deep sea? Because we too we should benefit from it. Do you think we have that equipment? Even our own territory to take care of, we do not even have the capacity. There are a lot of illegal.
You don't have the
Somebody,
capacity as in terms of the law or the capacity as in terms of the implementation
the issue
tools.
about implementation, one, and even some of those laws they need to be reformed. Some of those laws, like ever since laws, we in modern days now, the way the world progressing, how things progressing. So you need to have law reforms, and then you also need to have good trainings and provide some how do you call it, those
Okay, Mr.
equipment
Bara,
that need to be used.
let me say this. Don't get me wrong. And maybe I hope I may not be sounding, too demeaning to the audience. If you're talking about you, do you know that every government, governmental institution, and say some all government institution, including state-owned enterprise. Do you know that they have committee at the Capitol building for them?
Sure, they are there.
Okay. And who are there to make the laws?
We are those
Who
same
are
people
there?
that
Who do law
yeah, but yeah, those
reform?
are the ones.
Who do law reform? The election law. Who passed it recently?
We agree. We know all
The
these
reform
people.
of that entity law. Who passed it recently?
You have the government there, they bring are responsible for these things. But at the end of the day, comrade, the government, that's part of the laws you're talking about passing law. There are a lot of things involved. Like you can say, well, more people saying Liberia have very good laws on the book. But we are telling we lacking law enforcement, we lacking enforcement aspect of these laws. For example, you
So
got laws, everybody should
the
pay their tax.
enforcement aspect of the law should be the priority.
No. Yeah, but if you look at it in totality, they only telling you that when they say reforming your laws, they want you to reform that laws, put some add something there, or you subtract small and then you add. That will improve the law more than ever before. And now, like what the project hold to achieve the project aim. The project telling you that you should combat illegal fishing activities. That one of the thing the
And that
project
should be
hold
the
to achieve.
priorities of our lawmakers. That should be the priorities of the entity itself.
It is. It is. It is. But they are not capacitated enough to do this thing. Like we're talking about, yeah.
Okay.
When it comes
Let
to
me
the
hold you
phone,
there. Let me hold you there quickly, Mr. Ballah.
even training. When it comes to the phones, even training. How many people are when people are coming, JJ, when people start knowing about aquaculture in our country, when people start knowing about aquaculture in Liberia, that's the first thing. It was just recently when the University of Liberia opened that thing and started. Ama Glasgow went where she got a degree. She was there. Now people rushing Sierra Leone to go and get a degree from there. So you still need more people to be trained. Even your AFL you're talking about, the AFL, let's talk about AFL. They don't even have, if you look at the presence on the ocean, it's very less. The maritime aspect, they don't have those equipment. So if international community say, look, we have money, we want you to improve on this, use the money, because once you say you want to combat illegal logging, let's say not logging, but illegal fishery, it means that you have to buy boats. People need to be trained. People need to be trained that will be under the water. People need to be trained, with various boundaries of the ocean that will be under the water to help enforce the law. So we have the law, but we are not capacitated enough. We are not trained. We are not in
You
a
have the
position now
law,
to.
or you want to reform the law.
You have the law, but you have to reform the law. Law is there, but the protest says you should reform the law. You should improve the law. Now 2019 law, the protest no. Try to improve on the laws. I
So
don't know whether
improve
I
on the
could make
law
that.
now. That improving on the law is a priority. I agree, but the existing laws are there. We need certain things to implement it. What more is a priority? You want to reform the law and you put a book down?
So that's why, comrade, all these things in one nutshell. They're telling you reforming the law, and also once you reform the law, it means that looking at the project in, you also going to utilize the law. You are not just reforming the law and keeping it. When you reform the law, you utilize the law because you're going to have training within in the process.
But we
Training.
have existing law that is not being utilized. That's
There's
that's the problem.
no, it's there. They are utilizing, but not to the 4 years.
And
Not
you
to the
reform the
4 years.
law, you think you're utilizing to the 40s?
Because of the capacity now, the international community funds are giving you, they helping you. At least they
I
will
agree.
contribute towards that. Yeah, they will
I
contribute.
must appreciate the fund that the entity were able to have secured to improve the law. You secure 500 to improve the law.
Don't just make emphasis on improve the law. It go beyond that. That's what I'm telling you. It go beyond that.
But improvement is a general word now to make
Yeah,
it to
yeah.
encapsulate it. You know?
Because when we say one the law is improved or the law is being reformed, One of the things, because one of the mandate of the institution is to combat illegal law, let's say illegal fishery, is to strengthen the governance, protect the fishery activities and promote sustainable use of
Do
the
you know that
marine.
when you improve the law, it has to pass through legislation?
But then they would work on it. Even when it passed, they will work on it. That's why the fund is there.
So lawmakers
You
get
don't
a
pass
cut in
it.
that form.
No, they shouldn't be having cut in that fund because they are being paid. They shouldn't be
But
having
they are
point
part of the
having cut in the fund.
they are part of the people that are supposed to, to improve the
No,
law.
but for them, they already have
The
that job. They
authority.
are being paid for that. So you can't
So
when
the
they put all for
500 just for consulting to improve the law and then wait to get to Capitol building.
they found you again. You just looking at the one phrase improve the law. That's why you're looking at law reform. Yeah, but like I said, it go beyond that, and I think we should take that as an opportunity to try to improve on our ocean governance, because like you see today we're talking about climate change, and the ocean is one of the means of carbon reduction, the greenhouse gases that go into the atmosphere. The ocean contribute a lot. And we also talk about sustainable development that going to meet our present future generation there's a present generation without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. So if you get people over the ocean carrying on illegal fishery, the fishery activities, and then even the nets, they have various nets that should be used to carry on the fishery activities. Yeah, some of them they use a turning net that even though little fish will not even escape to reach, to produce. So at the end of the day, what happens? That illegal fishery activities you are carrying on, because there is no monitoring aspect. You don't have the presence of NAFA over the ocean that are going to check in various fishery boats and say, look, let's see the type of fish. You say this fish, this size, you're not supposed to catch it. You're supposed to use the amount of this type of net that will allow the smaller fishes to escape within the ocean. Because remind you, future generations do need to benefit, and even the life of those people that live along the coast, they too, their lives need to be improved. So the identical funds also going to contribute because they're going to be a project. Just imagine when it comes to the waste management within our country. Go along the beaches, see how those beaches are dirty. So this identical project also going to contribute because they improve governance as well. How this beaches should be, it's going to improve the lives of ordinary people that live once it is being used well, not on the other way around. So our country should take that as an opportunity and then work towards these things. Try to purchase some of these boats that will be used. Train our staffs. Yes, they should be trained to these things. And you should also sometimes that will look at salary and other things. You should improve on some of them their salary. Because all these things comes with the
But the
issue about
500
corrupt.
does not cover salary, my friend.
I'm saying even if the family does not cover it, those people too somehow. One of the reasons we understand that the issue about serving your country is about patriotism. You need to have the zeal. Your country is for you. Yeah, but at the end of the day, if you cannot, you are DMA, for example, you run around at the end of the day, you carry 150, and then somebody see you, the person say, "Man, you see my jersey, I give you 10,000 USD, 10K." Your whole head rise, because apart from your own salary, there is no other small medium in which you can generate extra funds. So this means should be created, because once you want to enforce laws, there are a lot of things you need to look at. You're not only looking at the enforcing the law aspect, but what comes with it. You want me to stop doing this thing? What's the next alternative? So there should be another alternative of livelihood for those people who live around the beaches. Sometimes for them to reduce their activities on the ocean. So let's look at that. Let not only focus on the issue about the funds, the 500,000 is only there for law reform or to improve our existing laws. And once our existing laws is improved, a lot of things are going to happen. A lot of good things going to happen. because it means that when the law is improved and it is being implemented, it being enforced to the fullest, we're going to have, we're going to reduce the issue of illegal fishing. You know that they we're going to improve the governance of the ocean. And you know, the those who use those marine resources are going to be used wisely, not just you just use it anyhow, because there are laws, there are regulations that govern these things. And once a belly law being enforced, people going to follow those laws. If somebody or go against the law, they should be penalized. The law should take a course. If you do that to one, two, three persons, at the end of the day, you're gonna see certain changes going to happen within the country. And like we will always say that one of the problems we face in our country. So let not only focus on the issue about law reform. It's not a slap in our face. Every it almost like fam. They see the part of the Paris Agreement. They have something they call NDC. Yeah, I think it's a national determinant or something. It slipped my mind. But after every 5 years, you need to carry on reform countries, because the NDCs is there for country to set out rules and regulations. The action they're going to take to reduce climate change, to reduce the greenhouse gases emission. So after every 5 years, there should be a reform. You add, either you add or you subtract, you improve. So it means that they don't have it, they have it, but we're saying after every 5 years, you should be able to carry on this reform. So it means that you can use one law for how many years? It should be improved. Are we getting my point?
Yeah, I understand you very well, and
It seems there's something still not
no, but
correct.
I don't want us to keep us long on this topic. Maybe we can have this one as a side conversation. But
Yeah, okay.
sincerely speaking, it is true that we need laws that supposed to be improved. There are laws that are to be improved, and we must give it our utmost attention. But on the overall, Mr. Bala, those existing laws will still lack the implementation component of it. And what are some of those things that make us lack the implementation component? Low budgetary support towards buying those necessity that will enable staff to execute those laws. Another thing that's also lacking, low salary. But sometimes I get to ask myself, even if you increase civil servant salary today, when thing prices go up, civil servants still want more salary.
Yeah.
So it's not about how much more. So the focus should be now, let us make our shift to those goods that we think that are highly consumable, especially by vast majority of the people in the country. How to make the price reasonable. Those necessity, electricity, water, school fees. How to make harmonize the prices so that even if you are working for 150, you can still materialize something from your 150 because things prices are low. You understand? Even if they make civil servant salary up to 700, then they make tuition 1,000 private school, the people will still cry for low salary. So when you are increasing civil servant salary or when you stabilizing the salary, it should be somehow proportional to the goods market price, especially those goods that are mostly consumed by vast majority of the population. So I
Definitely.
agree that we must appreciate, and we have appreciated this grant because it's a grant. It's almost like free money, but it's free money. Somebody telling you how to clean your house, where to clean, you know.
And the part you don't want to hear.
Yeah, and they tell you where to clean, and you have a set priority. And because they will continue to tell you these things, because you lack the capacity to generate money internally. Thank you very much.
But do you think, let me ask you the question. Do you think the issue about climate change that we're talking about can be combat, or can be fought by individual country?
No, climate change is a holistic approach.
So
It is
I'm
a
just I'm
holistic
just
because Liberia is not isolated from the world.
mm,
We are
mm.
all in a one big spear or cycle, whatever it is. We are not
Uh-huh.
isolated.
Yeah. So
So
that's why some of these things, the activities you carry in your country, other countries need to contribute. That's why these funds are there.
let me
Because
tell you this: other countries need to contribute, but okay. I don't want to speak more about the fishery side,
uh-huh.
but especially those people that are into the forest. Keep your forest. Keep your forest. Keep your forest. Do you know other countries that are keeping their forest?
Yeah, sure.
They will take that law, make good furniture out of it, sell it back to you, African. You give them more money, then they take portion of that money and say, reserve your forest. Do you know there are countries that are still using petrol to the maximum, coal for energy generation, but it's still telling you say no, you have to do smart. That's why Donald Trump say he empower those things. Yeah, that's why Donald Trump said, my brother, let me tell you this. Why is we part of the global village? But Africa, we are still being subjected to doing what we do not want to do,
Yeah,
all in
sure.
the name of climate change.
Sure.
You say keep your forest, or we should transition to clean energy.
Clean energy.
But America still
To
producing
renewable
crude
energy.
oil. Iran still producing oil. China still buying oil on a daily basis. So you tell me now, China that still transition to clean energy, but it's still buying petroleum. They still
Yeah,
buying crude oil to make
yeah.
different products.
But it means that they
China still
use of
generating energy from coal. They still generating energy from coal. And
we
you keep
agree.
and they have generated maximum to serve vast majority of the country. And you telling us your mineral, our mineral, we should sell it to you, then we should.
Calm down, calm down.
But that's a
Take a glass,
reality, my brother.
take a
That's a
glass of water.
reality.
Take
That's
a
a
glass of
reality.
water. Chill, chill. This is a
That's
glass.
a
Take a glass
reality.
of water. The issue here is this: developing countries suffer the most. We face a lot of problem in Liberia. The Rappler project that we all made our contribution on. I think we're around 1 point something million or what. Huge amount of money. When the Ocean government get that money to the government of Liberia to carry on, the issue about forest protection, reform, those forestry law, carry on that, a lot of activities, because the aim of that fund was to reduce emission from deforestation and forest degradation. So the tell you say the phone will giving you gotta keep say 70% of your forest. You keep it, don't take it, don't use it. Don't use it for agricultural activities, don't use it for this. It should just be there. Because the forest is in the position of absorbing those greenhouse gases in the atmosphere.
So it should
So
just be there. Don't grow food for
yeah,
yourself. Don't develop
no,
city. It should
no,
just keep the forest.
no, like we got something we call land use. Land use planning. So it means that you just going to all your forest you have, you're going to use it. That's why Liberia is keeping 30% of their forest. Just imagine, only 30%. The rest of it can be used for agriculture, you get other conservation, but 30% of the forest should be kept for conservation purpose. You just conserving it, don't go and do anything there, it should be kept. they are also saving it because the issue about climate change, we understand that those international those that's a developed countries, they are the one producing more greenhouse gases because of the activities. They got a lot of factories, they got this, they got that, and those factories are the one that really producing those smokes that go into the atmosphere.
And they tell you do not produce, we'll produce, we'll sell to you.
But are you capacitating? Actually, what kind of anger I should speak for the guy to grab? Because the guy get angry. Are you in the capacity or the position right now to let's say to produce wind energy?
How will I be in a capacity when I try to do so to change my regime?
I never argument for another day.
So how will you be in a capacity? Yeah.
Yeah, you are now in that position right now.
Iran,
Wind
Iran
energy.
trying to do nuclear program. They say no, you don't have the capacity, your intent, they destroy you.
So comrade, it just even in heaven, all the angels were not they seen they were not having the same power. All of group were higher, all of group were low, and
We
that's
are
life.
weak because we allow ourselves to be weak. We are weak
And
because
and, and,
we
and do you
allow
think, brother?
power divide us. We are weak because we allow greed divide the
Yeah,
continent.
yes, because of our thinking, and we'll continue. We pray that it work, but like I don't think
It
it's
will not
real.
work.
I was fine. You know
Let
that.
me just
Just
give you a
imagine.
clear scenario. South Africa produce significant amount of coal, but yet they still suffer from electricity issue. They produce the coal that's also generate maximum level of electricity to supply the country. They sell the coal out. I don't know whether Liberia get coal. I don't know whether we producing coal. But there are other things that we are producing that is significant to our economy. But do you know what we do? We say because we do not have the intellectual capability to transition those goods. We don't have the technology advantage to turn those goods into finished consumable products. That's why we sell them. And do you know what you are selling? You are selling your jobs. You are the taxes that is also generating country. That's why you are giving out and receiving small. So I think we need to transition.
Sorry, that was a network problem. That was a network problem. So, folks, Corey, you can come back. I think we had some small issue in a technical issue, but I think we are okay now. Yeah, yeah. You are saying something.
So I think we need to transition from that kind of mindset. You understand? We have the capacity to generate enough resources, financial resources from right among us, but it requires institutional will and political will
Sure.
to ensuring that these things are done. You give us
Yeah.
grant, well and good. Okay. Yeah, you say now Ministry of Finance received loan from African Development Bank. Thank God it's not from the white man hand.
Yeah.
You understand? So now that fund, I don't know whether we have transitioned to that conversation.
No,
But
coming. We
whatever
are
money
we are
we
about to
receive,
close. We are about to close this identical
whatever
discussion.
money we receive from international partners, we must ensuring that that money that we're receiving is aligned with the demanding priorities. Demanding priorities. You have existing law. You have budget. You have money in your budget to train staff to implement certain law. To adjust the law that the thing you say you take 500 grand, 500,000 grand for to adjust law. I agree. I think it's from the United Nations or something, somewhere else. Other countries are doing those things from the domestic resource that they generate. If you want to implement a law, seek grant to get tools. We have lawmakers to reform institutional policy. Of course, there are some
Mm,
policy or institution, it has to go through legislation. No matter what
yeah,
you do
sure.
draft, it has to go there for approval. And that's why they get committee responsible for that. Unless you want to tell me now that they're trying to protect those village boys that won that district and I don't know nothing about free jobs. Thank you very much, Mr.
Okay.
Banner.
Thank you, Sylvester. And folks, this is Africa, and this is the OH problem. It's not today problem. It's a OH problem. If you look at, you see they have European Union, all those countries come together. They have one rules and regulations that govern the European Union. You don't need visa. Once you get that Schengen visa, you travel to all European countries. They don't need visa to call you to say this. They don't need it. But Africa, we just imagine you are bordering with another country and you have issue with your colleague. Look at what South Africa is doing. So I don't think this is the problem going to end soon. So let's try to recognize some of our followers and Avina Thompson. She said I'm following closely from Kigali. Thank you so much, Avina. Frederick Donna. That's the president, the acting president of the Lofa Student Association here in Rwanda. Thank you, sir, for watching. We have Ambassador Michelle F. Johnson. He said I'm following from Kigali. And our own man Jeffet G. Vincent. He said exactly, JJ. The salary is not really the problem. The stability of price is the problem. Of prices is the problem. So Jeffet, agree with you on what you said, and which of course is good. But I want us to transition to the issue about agriculture. Let leave that funds over the week as well. Uh, the Ministry of Agriculture in mainland group, they unveiled 36 million plan for Liberia own rubber farms, agriculture sector. Yeah, so the issue about this identical funds, where is it? JJ, are you following?
It's around 36 million. Hello?
Yeah, 36 million. The what they're going to invest into agriculture, specifically the rubber industry. And this fund going to support local farmers to have their own rubber farms and other things. Instead of having concession, like we have jetty in that place, we have Firestone, local farmers should have, the rights, support them to have their own farms. When it comes to and one those people are being, their lives are being improved. They have their own rubber farm. They able to make their own 1 or 2 cents from what they produce. I think also going to help to improve the economy because it's going to create more jobs for Liberia. Now I want us to look at the grain closely. What would be the economic impact on Liberia? Because looking at giving farmers, you know, their own farmers going to own their own farms. Just imagine that within the country. Support farmers to have their own farms, and when those farmers have their farms, it's also going to, like I said, it's going to improve the living standard of those people because they're not going to be suffering with their concession, working with other people, trying to go through a lot of difficulties. They're going to have their own, money into their hands. So we want to look at the impact on the economics. How these funds are these funds really going to reach to the ordinary people, or are they just going to use it somehow? Looking at the amount of money they are discussing.
You know, Mr. Banner, I don't want my audience to feel like I'm against everything but like we're receiving those money.
Uh, yeah, go
But
ahead.
sincerely speaking, I will address your question. Let me just say this quick. Sincerely speaking, We need competitors. We need competitors. You see what Jetty is doing? Fire some way, one way or the other, allegedly trying to fight Jetty through the big fish that they are connected with. We need competitors. You cannot have the industry so conserved. Or yeah, certain group of people have absolute power. There are rubber growers in the country, but who do they sell our rubber to? Remember, at a certain point in time, government made a policy that no farmer will sell that rubber directly outside the country. So that means they are subjected to sell that rubber to Firestone. And when they want to sell that rubber to Firestone, they gotta stay in queue.
Yeah, just
Firestone
imagine.
gotta tell them how much quantity they buying for that day. So when you have competitors, you will have farmers going back to their various farmlands to grow rubber to a certain capacity that they are able to. And then they can use that. They get too many buyers. When you have too many buyers, it will be okay. But anyway, we must appreciate that other one again. Because maybe
We appreciate it. Yeah, we appreciate our other funds.
of course. Let me tell you something, Mr. Bada. No company will come carry on investment based on goodwill. That lie. Don't be fool. That lie.
Ah, yeah. They
Nobody
said
will see.
there is no free lunch.
Nobody will say we're bringing this amount to improve the agriculture sector. That lie. They are profit driven. That's
Ah,
why it
yeah.
will contribute. It will create jobs. But those people, they are the owners of the ideas. They will use those people to generate money, and those people will get small thing for their labor. But on the overall, we must appreciate the effort that these institutions are making to secure some money, secure contracts, secure partnership, to expand jobs, to keep the economy running. We must appreciate those government institutions. But to your question now, what I think, there are some dormant farmers of rubber. Maybe they feel like they do not have the money anymore, maybe to secure a land. That money, if they were able to tap in that, can be used to secure a land to start planting rubbers. And now there should be the partnership. Now we should have an understanding of that partnership. They grow the rubbers. Who are they selling to? And will they sell back to mainland for mainland to export? For exportation,
Yeah,
or would they sell back to Firestone or Cetis and Brother? So when you grow the product, you have to have the market. And in Liberia, the government made policy that the market now should be internally. So only two main players we have in the market, Seti and Firestone. And
that's
Seti,
serious
when he's not the
matter.
main player, he does not have even he does not have more than 20% share of the market, so to speak. You understand? So we need competitors. Once you have competitors, you have investors saying we coming to establish our factories, we coming to establish this. Farmers, even me, that I'm into farming business, maybe I won't go back reverse to start my rural farm because I know competitors are here. You understand? But we must appreciate the effort that they made to generate to secure that kind of funding for the sector. Thank you very much.
Which is very good. But we look after looking at all these things. What could be the risks? What are the risks? That could affect the project success, like you mentioning all these things. Because looking at the project, the amount of money. Sometimes when I say it, I think the amount of grants, loans that African countries usually take. I don't know how well they can utilize those funds, because I think if they were utilizing those funds properly, something going to change. Let's take for example, JJ, like the money they're discussing now. Like bro say, girl, like bro say, okay, this time around, we want to have our own industry. No rubber, like the rubber they will produce, Firestone continue can rubber will get issue with it, but for these people, the other farmer producing the rubber will get industry, they will sell it to Liberia, Liberia produce a tire, Liberia produce this, Liberia produce this. Yes. Do you know what's going to happen right there? You're talking about creating job for people. You know how many person going to get job there? You know how many person going to get job? All these people are having their palm plantation in Liberia. Do they really have an industry that are going to produce? You know the use of palm, the oil from the oil, the pangana to the chap. You know the use of palm. But at the end of the day, all these things being shipped out of the country. So if Liberia could just cancel okay, they 16, they 36 million are talking about, let's use something, so now 20 million from there. We won't have our own industry for it. Let's establish something. Then all these farmers now, people now go stay online, but like you said, there will be competitors. People now going stay online on Firestone bluffing on my way. When I want to say a reward today, I got all the options. I got more than two, three options. And it will only encourage more people to get in the industry. By the end of the day, if the funds come, you get, you say you want to improve farmers' life, farmers going to have their own farm. And you know, you're going to improve rural development. We agree. By the end of the day, where are these people going to sell their reward? Like you mentioned, are they carrying to jetty? Are they carrying to Firestone? So I don't know what the project really looking at. Like you mentioned, are they going to sell the rubber back to the company that is coming? These are things that we should be thinking about. And if yes, they are saying they are going to sell the reward back to the company, how is it going to be like? On what percentage? Because the company just give money free. They say just go use it, or when they say we give you money, you have the farm, and meanwhile you're supposed to sell 1 ton, $50 for example, you will sell it to us. Say we don't want to give you money, establish a farm, other thing. Instead of $50, you could sell it to us 25, or you could sell it to us 35. Because we don't want to give you the money. And that's the problem we have. If we have all these things, we have a lot of industry, because you cannot be in the country complaining about job, and you got means to encourage investors to come within the country. But there are a lot of bureaucracy that those politicians pull off in the country, that even one company want to come. If one person not in favor, when you not brave this, at the end of the day, to just be successful and have your 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 company, coming into the country, it's difficult in our country. And I think maybe it's not only in Liberia alone, maybe in other part of Africa as well. So we need to start. I think
It
it's our
is.
time. We need to think out of the box.
So, Mr. Bada, you said it the right way. This is it. These are what investors do. They look for where the laborers are cheap. You understand? They look for where the laborers are cheap. They look, okay, labor is cheap in Africa. Which part of Africa can we carry this investment? Let's look at the labor law in certain country. Okay, Liberia. Look at the labor law there. What's the minimum wage bill? The ceiling, the minimum wage bill. They look at it. The minimum wage they look at, okay. What's the level of farmers compared to other countries? Oh, farmers, they are very poor. They lack capacity. Okay, this is what we can do now. Let's take our investment there. They close all those bureaucratic holes with those government institutions, then they take the investment down. The money will seems to be like a safe haven. Poor farmers will have the means to get along. But on the other hand, that's the rationale. I give you money, you grow, and you sell to me. Then I export.
And a certain percent.
And a certain percent. It almost be like my man winning, win-win situation. So yes, it risks,
Oh
and
yeah.
that money, the money is not coming at once. The
No.
money comes in stages. That's why
Yeah.
you, when you read a publication, they say there will be time to go to nationwide. But however, it comes in stages. So I may not really assess the overall risks, But this is what I said from my opener. You will have those funds available, but you need competitors. When there are competitors, there will be no dictation on how much quantity that I will buy from you or how much quantity that you will sell to other people. But we must appreciate their efforts anyway.
Yeah, and I love the way you usually end it. Much appreciate that effort. Check your WhatsApp. I send you message. Like you mentioned, I was looking at what doing a coast guard. I love the sea, and I got to understand that Labrador flag is one of the dominant flag on the ocean. Most of the ships they fly because every ocean should have, or let's say every ship should have a country that they register under. They should fly that country flag. And like you mentioned, do you know why everybody rushing to Liberia? Because the rules and regulations that govern the country or the issue about featuring is not being enforced to the fullest. So people look at it to raw. They are relying on it. So that there are a lot of countries. I think Liberia should be the second when it comes to the amount of ships that flying Liberia flag on the ocean. So like you mentioned, countries go up. People look for the loot. Like business now. They look for small opportunity. They want to find a way out to get something. So may say for example, I supposed to fly, use maybe, or for example, Togo flag on my ship, and just to do the one that a lot of bureaucracy. I must do this. They want me to implement this. I don't think I can. Let me look at Liberia on. But these people looking at a weakness. They in Iran, this. So at the end of the day, what happens? Let go buy it. Let go use Liberia. And that's why investors do they look for easier way, like the man who carrying the papi who carrying the issue about the horses in Liberia. I was listening to him, I think in 7 he said there are some countries that is difficult for the project to be implemented because there are a lot of bureaucracy, some are a language barrier. He's talking about because I don't think already the issue of a language barrier shouldn't be the problem because people have, for example, you want to go places like Cote d'Ivoire, there are people there who can speak French and English. You're going to work with them. So why are you saying language barrier? Maybe those other
If
countries is
language
difficult
barrier
for
was
them.
a problem in Pakistani men should not be in Liberia.
Uh-huh. He was saying those things. I said, look at it, Papi. Who you coming for? Because you feel like you're looking for the easy area, like you can find a way out easily. In Liberia, just imagine enter Liberia, you even went to see the president, people running with you all around, whoa, because I was first time seeing such a development. You are tapping into, because I know I said to our inner or wide and to be successful. Like, what are you doing? And when you're making a statement, yeah, look, I want to listen to your lies. Say, nobody's stupid here. Why you can't go to the countries? I went to Portugal, but I have to speak Portuguese. I went to the other place. They did so the issue about language barrier. They want that's why I left. And I came to in Sierra Leone to bring my investment because Sierra Leone is weak like Liberia. So you find a way easy access. They give you bill land. The process you don't go through easy. Just make things smooth for you. Oh, you gone. And you sit down and you start to make billions from the people land. They give you the land, you pay one horse, you sell it 12,000, 10,000, you say it's affordable. Do you think ordinary people can really afford the horses that you talking about? Now the same people who up there, they don't want to buy the horses. Man drive market, she want to secure 5,000 for herself. And he said we're paying the house for, I don't know, we're kind of income people. You gotta explain that to you. Then you come here, you gotta explain that to because I actually have been using in our country. Anyways, so we looking at our time. We don't really have much time. We came on I think 9 minutes late. Yeah, or 9 minutes late, something like that. So we were about to stop here. So I want us to summarize, looking at all I was discussing, all of those grants. Though you say you don't want to talk like you are against those grants, but let's try to summarize them and then see what would be the overall benefit to our country, to our people, you know, like that.
You see, there has been a growing debate since the president sona about job creation. And one thing that some people don't want to maybe they make themselves so stubborn to understand. Every international fund, whether loan or grant or goodwill that the country receive, it adds to the growth through job creation. Because
Sure.
for every fund we receive, there must be an initiative. And
Yeah.
for every initiative, there must be a part-time worker or a full-time worker to implement that initiative. So on the overall, like I said, we appreciate those amount money received from whether IMF or the African Development Bank or the United Nations, whosoever. They are important for us in terms of job creation. So I would like to maybe appreciate those institutions to take those money serious and at least whether it's a short-term job through their initiative that they will execute using that fund, it will be used to at least put income in the pocket of some of our brothers and sisters. So, Mr. Barra, thank you and thank to the listeners for this conversation. Despite it was not exhaustive as we expect it to have been due to time
Yeah.
factor, but I appreciate those who patiently started and continue up to this end. And those who did not, we hope to bring you a fascinating conversation because tonight we're just talking about money and institution development.
Yeah. Good
So we
development.
hope to bring you, the reason why we do not want to just jump into the drugs issue with the RIA because I think we waiting to see what the higher authority may say. Despite
Yeah.
Martin Cotton is rolling out episode by episode doing play by play demonstration that which we appreciate, but we want to discuss those evidence when we have the final conclusion or when we are getting to the final conclusion. Thank you, Mr. Barra.
Yeah, so thank you, Sylvester, and thanks to our followers. So this coming Sunday, we're going to give you a little bit. You know, the Lofa Student Association in Rwanda have been trying their best to organize themselves. Yeah, they're just the Lofa students. They've been trying their best to organize themselves, and they had their association. But now the association need to launch the association. So I've been the issue about guest speaker, keynote speaker who will come to speak to the people. Yeah. So they've been trying, sending a lot of letters. We and Ballah are sending a lot of letters out to all our lawmakers. It would be Thomas Fala, how do you call it, Consider Jala, all those people you're talking about, Julie, Honorable Julie, all those people, they receive our letters. But at the end of the day, we were let down by everyone that day. Nobody was able to, say, okay, I will come to Kigali. Looking at the number of Lofians that are in Rwanda, I will come there, you know, to talk to them, to see. Because at the end of the day, all these people, students that are here, they're going to go back to the country and then going to contribute to national growth. So you expect the person to leave from right now. You say you not help nothing. You want for the man to go away, you to go lower and go work there for you to help the health sector. We got people who are doing nurses, nursing rather. They are here. So those people when they go back, they need to work. Now you don't want to contribute. You send you letter. You feel like they are not in the country now, so they are not really important to you. That's the problem. We have had series of radio appearances, discussing the issue, how students are facing some difficulties when it comes to the issue about studying Rwanda, and like the issue Donald Trump carry on where uh they reduce stop some funds from going to Africa. It cause serious problem. All those NGOs, some NGO closed today because of those funds. There are no longer funds there. So those people who send their children who are working with some of the NGOs today now, some of the children here, they are facing difficulties. These are people that we want to help and we spare out all these things to them. But at the end of the day, God will have it. Somebody from Bon County, just imagine somebody from Bon County who will be serving a guest speaker on the Lofa Student Association launch and fundraising program comes August 15th. So we want to host the guest speakers, to hear from him what are those things he involved into, and what do students should expect from him if you're having to come to Rwanda. So this coming Sunday we will be having conversation with him, so you can know the person we are talking about. Yeah, you following?
Okay, so that's it, Mr. Bala. Thank you very much, and thank you to our listeners. So stay tuned and get engaged with us as we bring up one of the chief sponsor of the Lofa Student Association initiative. We look
Yeah,
forward to
sure.
an insightful conversation, and it's important that we help each other grow. They say we
Definitely.
thrive by lifting others. So if that man from Bon County, Kukatono, we are one. Thank you very much for helping the student of Lofa residing in Rwanda. It's a great initiative and we appreciate your money. It will be used for its intended purpose.
Oh no, we
Thank
haven't
you.
received the money yet, man. I can't give your money yet. There is that.
And you know that in the village of Omag and celebrated the village there, right?
Anyway, thank you, man. JJ was a nice, having you on the platform, and let's keep pushing. At least we are growing. I don't know whether you saw that kid that I posted. When you low time, the woman had 1 point, I think one k view or something. She's very smart. You can go there, you see her. Very smart little girl.
Yeah, yeah,
A lot
yeah.
of people, some people even requesting for parents' number, the school, they want to go and find her. So, and like we're having a corresponding like bureau, we could use that means to go find the
So
girl
I
and then
think we need to we need to secure grant to review our our internal policy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that we can have
But we need
someone,
to have conversation and regarding these things so that this we can starting off this next phase of the year, the second half of the year, so that we can have a robust approach.
yeah,
So I'm
yeah,
looking
yeah.
forward that we can have a conversation maybe by the end, before the end of this month to at least regulate further or future activities from now to December.
Sure. Thank you, man. Thank you. It was
Thank you
nice
very much,
having you.
Mr. Bala.
Have a good night. So, folks, I want to say thanks for joining us. My name is Titus V. Ballah, and you have been watching Screen Vision. I have Sylvester Blessing JJ, the economics on the platform. Today we're just talking about money, 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 money. But it's also good to be informed, like I mentioned, as a young person, in the country. Know about what is happening within your country. So you can be, left in the dust. You need to be informed. Once you are informed, you will perform. Like I mentioned, sometimes you go for international conferences and other things. If you meet people, you discussing how is your country. I would like to come to your country, but what are some other development? What are some other opportunities that you think I can tap into? These are things investors looking for. So if you are informed about your country, or the small activities that are being carried in your country, you will be able to discuss with the person lengthily. And with that, you could be one of the beneficiaries for such a program. You encourage the person to come to your country because you give the person relevant information that he going to use. But if he doesn't know anything about your country, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're just going to talk ahead and say things that maybe just look as if the other male. You're not even informed about your own country. So that's why it's good sometimes to take a look at some of this, post follow the ministry's page, EPA or other FDA. These people posting every time information. It's good to learn about some of those things you are going through. How they run the entity. You're going to see all this information and then you can use them. So we want to encourage you to continue following us, share our show, and then we will meet on Sunday. So thank you so much and have yourself a good night.